When I was 7.5, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia and sent to first to UMC in Jackson. And after a couple of days there, I transferred over to St. Jude Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee.
It was very rare in children to have AML, and just the uncertainty of it all, you're in a continual state of shock. You almost forget to breathe.
I remember the first couple of weeks getting there when I was losing my hair. My face got all puffy and swollen, and I couldn't really see out of my eyes.
I mean, she got down to like 45 pounds, and she was 8, just turned 8. And she was just nothing. You know, we were doing everything we could do to try to get her to eat.
We went through 6 rounds of chemo, I think it was. And maybe around the 4th or 5th round, Make-A-Wish contacted us, and we were discussing what I would like to go and do.
The hope of that coming and being able to go and do that really kind of spurred her on to get her through that last round of treatment.
Tanaya is 10 years old. She goes to Rains Elementary School, and when she was newborn, she was diagnosed with sickle cell disease. And she also has a disease called moi moi, to where she doesn't get a whole lot of oxygen flow to her. She has really bad headaches sometimes. And so now she's likely to have a stroke, so she has to have blood transfusions every month to keep her from having a stroke. She wants to go out and she wants to play and she wants to do everything, but she can't because she has to stay hydrated or she may be hurting that day.
Usually it's right after they've received the diagnosis of cancer or other diagnoses, and it's when they're at their lowest. And so we go in and we try to be that pillar of hope, and we talk about, hey, you receive a Make-A-Wish. And it's instant almost. Those kids, their faces light up.
I feel like every child deserves a chance to have something really meaningful in their life and to be able to have that wish. And most of us don't realize that when you have a sick child, parents don't have the extra money. They don't have that extra to do. They spend all their money and everything on doctor's visits and medicine and just trying to buy things that the child needs. So the family doesn't have that special time together. And families deserve that special time together.
Ever since I was itty bitty, I've always been in love with horses. And a really good friend of ours, who was our realtor at the time too, she suggested that I ask for a horse, but my parents weren't too big on that idea because we didn't have any land that we were able to keep it on. And so the next big thing was to go to a dude ranch and ride all week long.
Well, she also picked a place that had fishing because that's his favorite thing to do. And there are plenty of ranches that have horses, but this particular ranch had fly fishing. And he'd never fly fished, and he'd always wanted to do that. So she did that for him for her trip.
Well, my mama had told me that I had a wish coming, and she would ask me like, where do I want to go? And I decided to go to Disney World.
Why did you decide Disney World?
Because I want to see all the people that was on TV, Mickey Mouse and stuff, and I like to get on the rides.
We went to Rainbow Trout Ranch. There was everything. We went horseback riding every day. There was a river that we could go fly fishing in. They had square dancing. We went whitewater rafting. We went to Taos, New Mexico. It was incredible. It was so much. It didn't feel like we did it all in a week because there was so much to do.
I went to the Magic Kingdom, and I got on all these rides from the Magic Kingdom, and when I got on the rides, it was so fun.
It's so amazing to see that with one 7-day trip that this family can have that much happiness. But when you step back as a medical professional or a Make-A-Wish employee and look at what they went through, that 7 days was the best time of their life, especially over the last year or maybe 3 years, depending on what they're going through.
It made us feel better about things because it gave us a little bit more hope that, you know, everything could be okay and then we can go out and have fun. And it was just happiness to me for my baby to be able to go somewhere, you know, to be able to go and not have to worry about anything. Everything had been taken care of for us and we just could relax and have a great time. It was good.
Being able to go on this wish and spend a week with the horses and in Colorado really just, I left there knowing that at some point in my life I wanted to work with horses on a regular basis. I wanted to be able to show other people what they did for me and have them work their magic on other people as well who are going through the same thing or different issues.
I have a whole new perspective on Make-A-Wish and how it impacts a child, the family, and the medical professionals. Now I get to work more closely with the families and our wish granters with granting a wish, and I get to really hear the thought process that goes behind a child's wish.
You know, just the office staff can't see all of these children. And so it takes the volunteers every day to help with these children, you know, to go out and do some paperwork and go out and meet with the children and let them know that they're going to get a wish.
You know, when you're in something like that, the best you can hope for is to get through it, for your child to survive and to be healthy and happy afterward. To have that someone presents you a gift like that just goes beyond all expectation.
And that made her feel special to know that somebody was doing something just for her. It was just all about her. Going to Disney World was something that we could never have done ourselves. There's nothing that I would even imagine doing. She's been going through this since she was a baby, so she wants to be normal.
There's kids in Mississippi that are just like that. There's neighbors of yours that are going through these times that a wish would bring them such a wonderful time together outside the hospital and away from all the needles and medicine.
If you'll close your eyes and think about if this was your family, what would you do? And, you know, just think about that. Could you give a little time to help grant a wish? Or could you give the extra money to help grant a wish? Just think if this was your grandchild, what would you do? And then open up your heart and open up your pocketbook and do it.
After 6 months of being in a hospital and being poked and prodded, it was really refreshing to be able to just spend that time with my family.
It wasn't just a trip. It wasn't. It wasn't just riding horses. It wasn't just about fly fishing or the great food and the outstanding coffee that they had that we enjoyed every day. It wasn't just that.
To be able to do something that I really loved was exactly what I needed after being in the hospital. It gave me kind of the push that I needed to get back on my feet. I've been in remission for 12 years, and everything's been all clear every year that I've gone back for a checkup. I know that if it wasn't for my wish, I don't think that I would be the same person that I am today.
I feel wonderful. I was happy, and I did all these wonderful things, make me feel happy, and I didn't feel sick at all.
Because it was all about who?
Me.
Let Make-A-Wish grant that child's dream, because it's a memory that they will cherish. for the rest of their life. And it's not just the child, but it's the parents too. We still talk about that trip. We still do. 12 years.
And we could never have done that for her. The trip was the best week of our lives. It was the best week of our lives.
It touches your heart, and it says that no matter how much work is involved, it's worth it. It's worth every minute. And, so the more we can do, and the more wishes we can grant, who knows when you'll see the power of a wish.
Thank you, Make-A-Wish.